some budgetary problems. It's not a long-term, not just a long-term solution. It's a short-term one, too, especially since it doesn't go into effect for a while. You'll reduce the prison population. You'll save money. And you'll save people from being damaged beyond what you can possibly imagine. So, if there's a reason why you wouldn't pass this bill, older adults rape children. There's no limitation for that excuse. There isn't. If there is a reason that someone can tell me in any part of the world or on this committee that they have scientific proof in a journal, a medical journal, that this decision is a good one, you can't do it. Well, I'm not trying to be insulting. I'm just saying it can't be done because it's not true. It's only true that this bill, there should be no statute of limitations. I'm so surprised as a man with a son. If anything ever happened to him, the damage that it's done to my wife, who has a son that was murdered, and Melissa and the senator are well aware of it. You can't imagine the repercussions over generations now that this has caused. We are, as a family, now just getting over the fact that I came forward. It traumatizes the rest of the family. The shame that they feel that they weren't there to protect him. It's not their fault. I was too scared to tell because this man was an adult, supposed to know what to do, the right thing that I trusted. It broke that trust forever. So I flew here, and I am very grateful that you allowed me to speak. And I'm very grateful that you're listening to me and that you show the film in this building. And I am going to continue to help push this along. Because if someone has a reason that is actually true and makes sense on any level, could they let me know? Because then I could put my energy somewhere else. Because it's not. There absolutely is not one reason that anybody can come up with that data doesn't prove that this bill should not be passed. There isn't. And I thank you for letting me speak, because I'd have been awfully upset if I couldn't. So thank you very, very, very much.
We thank you, Mr. Kulik. I know Senator Benoit has a comment. I just want to respond very briefly, and we'll get on with testimony, and I'll have some other comments to share with you all in a few minutes. But I think it can unarguably be said that as important as legislation, this and others that we consider here in the Capitol, the fact of your voices and the fact that you are speaking up and out probably moves this issue forward publicly in a much greater way. And other individuals who have experienced what you've experienced may see that you're speaking up and realize that they need to speak up too. And person by person, we can wake this country up to the fact of these crimes, and that parents should listen to their children, and children should question the authority of adults, and that we shouldn't have blind faith in our religious institutions, and we have to take responsibility for the issue ourselves, and you are leading the way, and it is not insignificant.
Can I ask you one thing?
Of course.
When you say little by little we'll wake the people up, that's true, and I appreciate that comment. But if we put our responsibility and faith in a smaller group that have a greater influence on the people than we do, couldn't they just help us out a little bit by changing the bill? Why do you got to wait?
When are you running for office?
I don't think they want to dig into my background. It's out there for everyone to see anyway. Just to trying to help you out with a shortcut maybe, but thank you very much, because I know you watched it, and I know that you were very kind to my sister and to myself.
Thank you, Mr. Kulik. We will welcome all of Senator Alquist's witnesses, but I think Mr. Benoit had a comment, and you may be leaving the room to get to another committee. I'm not sure, so
that's
we want to afford
precisely.
you
Thank you,
some time.
Mr. Chairman. We have another committee I'm vice chair on I have to go to, but I wanted to comment out of order because I do have to leave on a couple of things. First of all, the very compelling testimony of all of the witnesses is noted and appreciated. I am a lifelong Catholic who served Mass a lot of days, and pray God never suffered the problems that have been reported by others. But I'm very sympathetic as a law enforcement officer to have had the opportunity later in life to meet many who did suffer. This bill has the support of just virtually every major law enforcement management group that exists in California. A very impressive list. I believe that the author and others have expressed belief in the process of the district attorneys and their discretion. I couldn't agree more. I don't hear it all the time, but I think it is there, and I think it's appropriate. District attorneys are generally great people, but they are even further constricted by the jury process, and they don't take cases that they feel like they're not going to get 12 people to agree with. That's a very strong limitation. So the bill we have in front of us deals with a very narrow set of circumstances that is not covered by the other situations, which were well articulated, but there are still a few that will slip through the cracks and not have the corroborating evidence, not have the DA, but that I believe the DA in the county ought to have the authority and the ability to make individual decisions about prosecuting or not. I think it's an excellent bill, and I think and my final comment is that if there's any bill that we've seen so far that calls into question the ROCA process, this one certainly is. And